Wow. Hello, everyone. I can't believe I'm doing a TEDx talk right now. Do you mind if I take some pictures before I start? Wow. Thank you so much. My parents went on their first date on the 21st of May, 2006, in one of the busy streets in Korea. This was what my father thought when he first saw my mother. I have never seen a woman so gorgeous. I really want to marry her. And this was what my mother thought when she first saw my father. He is the most unattractive man I've ever met. I don't think I'll ever marry him. I believe that many of you here might have had a similar experience, when the memory you have did not match with that of someone else who was with you, or you notice different aspects of your memory by looking back at photos or videos. Well, what is memory in the first place? Is it merely what we remember from the past? Or is it a collection of recorded videos that our brains play every day? Well, memory is not a simple record of our past, but rather a selective creation of our brains that shape who we are. Our brains also interpret and alter our memories as we go along. I had a great-grandfather who passed away last year, and he was a living witness to Korea's modern history. Born in 1929, he lived a life that was more dynamic than any history book, spanning nearly 100 years of the Japanese colonial era, the Korean War in the 1950s, industrialization in the 1960s, and democratization in the 1990s. 2 years before he passed away, we tried to record his stories in the form of a book so that his memories will not disappear with him. Unfortunately, my great-grandfather was in a dire state of dementia at that time, and we could not communicate normally as he kept repeating the same stories again and again, trying to recall his distorted memories. If there were digital copies of his memories, photos, or videos to corroborate his vivid accounts, his memories could have been preserved for a longer time. But now, we are only left with a small fragment of him. In the near future, however, it seems that we might not have to repeat the same mistake anymore. In one of the science fiction novels by Ted Chiang, Exhalation, the author tells a story about how digital memories will shape our future. In the story, every single moment in a person's life can be recorded by an internal camera referred to as life logs, and people use a device called Remem that automatically flashes a recorded video to one's retina whenever they mention or even think about a specific memory. A lot of you here today might think, okay, but that's just a novel, right? I don't think that type of technology will develop shortly in the future. However, compared with only a few decades ago, we remember, or rather more accurately, record our memories in significantly different ways. When my parents were my age, it was very natural for them to look through thick phone books to call someone and memorize the addresses of their families. Photos, they had to be taken in specific studios or printed out each time. In recent years, however, we have been much more inclined to outsource our experiences into our digital brains. For example, let's take a look at Google Photos. When you take a picture, your phone automatically records the exact location and time. On its own, this device creates collages and short videos with music, and you can even look for a specific person in a picture if you search for their names. Whether it was a younger picture of you 10 years ago or your lunch menu on the 24th of June 2023, it can store and categorize your memories, your entire life, without you even noticing anything at all. There are many well-known and studied phenomena related to how this digital outsourcing can impact our brains, such as the Google effect, which is the tendency to forget information you can easily find online, or the GPS effect, the weakening of navigation and orientation skills without a digital map. However, did you know that taking pictures can also make you remember less? An experiment from Linda Henkel, a psychologist at Fairfield University, showed that relying heavily on a camera to capture our memories might weaken our abilities to remember the actual experiences. Most of us think we take photos to keep an experience fresh in our minds or to look back at it later. But surprisingly, the study revealed that people were much less likely to remember the scenes they photographed than the scenes that they only observed. This is because when we take a picture, we outsource the task of remembering to our cameras, the psychologists say. I experienced this photo-taking impairment effect when I visited the National Gallery of Denmark this April. There were so many impressive artworks from renowned artists, and I was so busy taking pictures all the time. Wow, Picasso, next to Matisse, it's amazing. I repeated the same process in 3 other art museums I visited, taking hundreds of photos. But later, when my friend asked me what artworks I'd seen there, I was dumbfounded because I had no idea. I did not remember the name of a single piece of artwork. Like this, if we rely too heavily on our digital brains and photo albums, it may prevent us from creating a meaningful memory at that moment. More important things that the camera lenses cannot capture: the temperature of the room, the meticulous details, the surge of emotions, and so much more. Nowadays, we seem to remember more of where a certain memory can be found inside our digital devices, and less of what the actual experience was like. And now, because I really want to remember all of you, and because I want to cherish this moment in my heart, I will delete all of these photos that I took at the start of my video. We all know well that memories of human beings are imperfect. We tend to forget many things, and even though we remember something, often they are not very accurate. However, it is this imperfection that makes our memories more beautiful and more humane. It is also the nature of us human beings to heal our wounds by forgetting painful memories and often distorting undesirable ones. Digital records are already well on their way to replacing human memory, perhaps even completely. However, I strongly believe that it is the malleability of our human memory that gives us the strength to forget and forgive. Perhaps one of the most important questions for the coming decades is whether there will be a place for imperfect human memory in the world of digital records, and whether individuals will have the right to choose which memories to cherish in their hearts and which to allow access to digital devices. What will you choose?